Hi, everyone. So, we're going to go from data center in the Nordics to telecommunications globally now. That would be the intent. I know I'm between you guys and lunch for several of you. So, I'll try to make this very sustainable for all of you. At Nokia, we have a new brand to start with. How many in the room actually know that Nokia has a new brand? There's a few, at least. Good. It was a big event that we had at a conference called Mobile World Congress. It's a big telecommunications event in Barcelona every year in February. And we relaunched our brand, and it's a very iconic brand. So it was a little bit of, we were a little bit scared how this would go. It went very well. And one of the platforms that we relaunched the brand on was no green without digital. That we want to be not just a connectivity or a digital platform for the world, but a sustainability platform for the world. And I'll talk a little bit about that today. So, we represent the global world of telecommunications, and we look at sustainability in two different dimensions. The first one, which we call, is our footprint. And we, of course, heard from the esteemed panelist recently, data centers, right? But we measure, this is our footprint. Communications networks, which includes enterprise communication networks, are about 1.15% of the energy consumption in the world. Data centers are slightly higher, they're at 2%. And then a telecom sector, which is global connectivity, fixed and wireless, 5G and fiber to your house, this is about 4%. This is what we call at Nokia the industry's footprint. Then there is a handprint of the industry. And what does that mean? 80% of the carbon emissions, they come from physical industries today. These physical industries, and I've mentioned a few here, and I'll exemplify in a subsequent slide, these physical industries have not been digitalized. And they are about 80% of the total global CO2 emissions. And we believe at Nokia that with the technology that the footprint provides, that is connectivity and digital, we can actually optimize about 40%. And that's the impact we can bring. We can not just optimize what we consume ourselves, but we can optimize through our tech industries which still remain very physical in nature and make a far bigger impact. So 4% goes to 40%. That's the magnitude that we want to impress upon with our technology. Let me talk about the footprint in a little bit detail as well. So, of course, we are in the business of system electronics, software, silicon, and this is how we look at our own footprint. We look at it in 4 dimensions. We want to be on the leading edge of silicon all the time. It creates energy efficiency. We are also innovating in cooling, because once you cool a product not through active but passive means, you save energy. We want to make sure our supply chains are sustainable, and every external mechanical element we use is either recycled or has potential to be recycled or refurbished. This is how we optimize our own footprint. So when we ship our product, and we ship our product to leading world service providers like T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon, when we ship our product, it has to work as good with less energy. That's our footprint. And this is how we look at the technology evolution. I am confident that in this room, at least 60% of the people sitting has a 5G connection on their phone. This is the difference on power consumption between 4G and 5G. So if those of you who have converted your connection from 4G to 5G in the last 3 years, you're contributing. So pat yourself on the back. It is about 100x. So today we have achieved a large part of that, but there's a potential of more, and we can get up to 100x energy saving. So every time you watch a video on YouTube and you have a 4G connection, you're using nearly 100 times more energy to watch the same video if you are on 4G versus if you are on 5G. That's the difference. This is now going to continue. Our expectation is by the end of the decade, we will launch 6G with our partners, and the curve will continue. In 6G, the technology and the generation of this technology is built bottom up, not for performance and capacity, so we can all watch more videos, but for sustainability. Our expectation is that we will keep the curve in the same direction, that we will save energy for every bit that every consumer consumes. This is the way we are advancing the technology we offer to our customers. So this was a little bit around our footprint. Let's talk a little bit around our handprint now. I talked about industries that have not digitalized. We call this the law of inversion. There are several industries that are quite digitalized today. I'm pretty sure that 95% of the people in this room have not walked into a bank, a physical retail bank, in the last month. You occasionally have to. Before COVID, that was quite often. Now, rarely anyone walks into a bank because the financial industry has digitalized. We all have shopped at a small company in Seattle called Amazon because the retail industry has digitalized. The services industries have digitalized. The physical industries, which contribute to 70% of the global GDP, they have not yet digitalized. And our expectation is that over the rest of the decade and the decade after, in the generations of 5G and 6G, the physical industries will start to digitalize on the back of 5G and 6G. And if you look at the productivity that you get through digitalization, there's a clear incentive for them to do. And I also talked about that these are the industries that are consuming most. For example, the energy sector, it consumes about 25%, manufacturing 30%, and transportation about 13%. That's about 70% of the global energy is consumed by three sectors. And the potential for connectivity-driven digitalization is massive in these industries. If every turbine had a sensor and was digitalized, the efficiency and productivity would go up. If you think about transportation, how many trucks in platooning mode are connected today and what efficiency they can get out of it? If you look at extremely high carbon focused industries in manufacturing, like steel manufacturing, there is an urgent need for them to digitalize, and the opportunity is there. And that is where we believe we can plant our handprint. And we now look at the size of what we need to connect. There's about 14 million sites, manufacturing sites, ports, mines that need to get connected and digitalized. And that's the gain you can get. You get a cost, a productivity, an efficiency, and a safety gain, and you make that site more sustainable when you implement a 5G-driven digitalization platform in there. That is our aim. And I know that this was supposed to be a TED Talk for a few minutes, so I'll leave you guys with two examples. So I give you some time back as well for lunch. This is a very interesting example. We work with this company in New Jersey. How many of you have heard of vertical farms? Great. There's the vertical farms. There are some stats on the slide. I will not go through them, but we work with this company called Aero Farms. They're essentially building huge warehouses, which are vertical farms. We have worked with them to connect drones that fly. The drones have high precision cameras. They look at every route and shoot, and they decide through artificial intelligence, do they need any fertilizer or water? And if they do, it is administered. If it doesn't, It is so precise. And we have seen 3x increase. And this is how the world becomes more sustainable. We are very, very proud of this example. And I'll leave you one more. This is rather mundane, the last one. None of you have been in a mine, I'm pretty sure. But in a mine, you have these autonomous trucks for transportation. These trucks, they stop when their system heartbeat stops, when there's a safety heartbeat, because you don't want to kill people in the mines. If there's no connectivity or bad connectivity or high latency, these trucks stop. Then somebody has to walk up to that truck, manually start it. Now you're losing energy, productivity. When you connect them with 5G and you put an AI platform behind it, then the truck doesn't stop. Suddenly the efficiency and sustainability go up in that mine without any additional chemical reaction happening in the mine. It's safe. I'm just leaving you guys with two examples and my last slide and a quote. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. And that's why no green without digital. Thank you.